Let's go deep. They
Your
tried to
mind's
shut it
finally open
down.
right now.
You're
Let's
protected
start
now.
off with COVID. Boom. Biggest conspiracy theory there is. I
Man-made.
am not gonna go into the direction that you think I'm gonna go. I will say that COVID was like the way that you see like in a superhero movie or like an actual villain organization that they created this overall disease in order to create one, not necessarily control, but they wanted to
Pop
be able
population control.
to population control, yes, like be able
Okay.
to dim the population, but being able to kill off
Yeah.
a lot of different people. But they also wanted to line up their pockets. And I think it was just like, imagine there's this like villain, someone who's just like, all right, nature is dying. We need to get people off outside from the outside world as much as possible. It was some crazy science freak who loves the world and was just like, we need to give the earth a break. Let's cut the population down a little bit. So like, there's like some government agencies that's tried to stop the spread of COVID, but they failed, like a spy movie. And then like someone just transmitted it at an airport and then it spread to the entire world.
So like
That is,
like it got out like a leak, are you saying? Like it like it wasn't supposed to be out there but it got out there?
I feel as if like they had it, someone stole it, and then they spread it. And it was like some supervillain shit. And then like the bad people, whoever you may be, were able to capitalize off of that as well by shorting different stocks or buying like making more money off the vaccine, for example, and just doing a whole lot of different things. So
I will add, well, not add to it, but I think the evil people are just the government, is what you're trying. Like, I don't think somebody stole it. I think if anything, if it was population control, it was deliberate. Like,
deliberate. Okay.
I mean, it's just it is crazy though. Like, I don't even know when the last pandemic was, but like the fact that we got like a pandemic and like the new age of like the world and stuff, and like they couldn't figure it out, and then I feel like vaccines still like some of them saying like the ineffectiveness or something, like they still don't really know if it's like worth it to even do the vaccines. Like, I know one of my cousins like is very adamant about not getting it, and he's like always reposting like just things that shit on it.
He's
The vaccine.
He didn't want to get chipped.
that's how they get you.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Divide the country even more. Division is the greatest method of control.
All right. Let's
They
so I want to mention like I'm not going to say COVID wasn't made in a lab. May or may not have been a Chinese lab. Man-made for sure. And then maybe the government was aware of it, Who's to say they weren't aware? But to your point of like it getting leaked, I mean, I don't know. I feel like it got out there in the wild, and like you said, like they maybe not expected it, and then by the time they realized it, it was just too late, and then they were just like, well, let's do what we got to do. But like Gio said, they were unprepared, so they might have just like shifted in the middle of it and was like, let's turn this into a positive because we already screwed ourselves here. So
I don't think it was supposed to be that bad though. As bad as it was,
it's a little shocking to see how unprepared we were, or at least how unprepared the world was.
So, right, like if it was made in China, right, and the way I feel like America views China is like this secret, like the reason why they want to ban TikTok is like, they know China is very savvy in getting like what they want, and you know what I mean, like getting your information and stuff. And I feel like instead of China going to war or something like that to kill as many people as they want, it's like an airborne, illness that will get people and all the old people, and like, you know what I mean, like it's not like you don't have to but you don't have to buy guns, you don't have to like, you know what I mean, go lose lives like that. It's just like boom,
make it as natural as possible
and take out as many people. I don't know China.
But I will say it
They
wasn't.
be censoring shit. They be doing crazy shit, bro.
They were affected too. Like they lost millions of people as well.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
think it was more.
you can't get scot free with it. That's mad. So it's like
No, I mean like I mean,
They
like
also
there is like
they also got billions of people over there, Edmund. So like comparatively, it's not millions isn't that much to them. Not saying that their lives don't matter. Their lives matter, but you know what I mean.
we lost hundreds of thousands to millions of people too. But I'm saying like I think like this could be even bigger, where there is like a governing like there is an organization that makes up of people from around the world, the wealthiest people or just people with like complete power, who created this virus to stay in power even more, or to like control population control. You know, someone like people playing God basically. I guess
Yeah,
it's like a there's a few different conspiracy theories within that. There's like it's layered to it, but that is my conspiracy theory that COVID was their way of testing
Maybe
population.
I should have mentioned this previously. Let's structure these a bit as we go through each of them. Let's make it interesting. So like we kind of shared our thoughts, our initial reactions to it. Now let's share like, all right, if we fall on the side, what side do you fall on? Or if you're just unsure, you can just say you're unsure, and then just like anything to prove or back up your claim. Like let's say in this case, like I could buy into that. Like I'd believe that COVID was man-made. Kind of a shitty thought to think. I would hope not, but I wouldn't say no. Like population.
we got
control,
the hats on today, so
population control makes sense to me. Like it has been a while since we've had a pandemics happen all the time, or little epidemics or pandemics, whatever you want to call them. They pop up all the time, but like at this scale, in this modern age, like Gio said, like it's been a while, and I just think it is a little shocking of how unprepared we were as a world, and that the fact that we shut down, like.
bro,
the
whatever.
world shutting down will not happen again for hundreds of years until like a nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah.
I mean, that might don't speak too soon, bro. The way the world's working.
Knock on wood, right?
But whatever COVID was is what I thought Ebola was supposed to be. Like when you heard about Ebola,
True.
like you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Ebola was supposed to be scary, but nothing happened.
Yeah, but
not nothing, but
Yeah, but it wasn't like COVID.
Yeah.
The fact that we went through that, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like.
So what do you guys think? So like I just said, like yeah, I could believe it. I could buy it. Luckily we're here on the other side of it. But what do you guys think? Do you believe in that theory, or is that just noise? I guess.
I'll say yeah. I believe it. I can believe it.
You got two. What about you, Edmund? You're the one that brought it to the table.
Hey man, like I think I will preface and say that I did get vaccinated, and I don't believe in vaccines working.
You got the chip. It's all right.
Like that theory doesn't make sense where they have other methods of keeping tabs on you. But I will say that that I do think that there's someone who's intentionally spread this. Like I don't think it was
Edmund, you didn't.
Whatever the theory of a bat.
You didn't.
Maybe it was.
You didn't know that COVID is the actual chip, and then the vaccines were just like the upgrade. Like that was just like a.
I apologize. You're right.
They got us all in. Yeah, they got all our information now. They're in us now.
Yeah, to be honest, like if FBI wants you, bro, they got all your information.
It's a whole other conversation, or another conspiracy. Well, not really conspiracy.
Not conspiracy. Well, not conspiracy.
I feel like that's come out.
Big Brother. It's just like there's too many whistleblowers that have confirmed it.
Yeah.
Shout out Edward Snowden. So
it'll be interesting to see if, like, in a few years, like, some kind of whistleblower comes out about COVID. Like, what if we're not completely off here? Like, sometimes these things take time because COVID was just a few years ago. Like, who's to say in like 10 years?
It's still not over. Like,
we're
still
exactly.
Affected by it.
Yeah. So what in like 5-10 years time, like someone comes up and kind of confirms what we're talking about here? That'd be kind of a crazy thought.
Like an ex-CEO of Pfizer or some shit.
Yeah. So
he was in on it.
I was contacted a year before to start preparing for this.
That'd be crazy.
Something.
You see, it wouldn't be the CEO. It's like I feel like it's someone who's just like
it was Amazon.
Controlling
researcher.
The scenes,
it was Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, or like someone who it's like people who have power but they don't want to be visibly seen, or like obviously like they're still there, like probably like on the board of Pfizer, or like
Jeff Bezos was there.
A senior executive somewhere who's just like controlling the I feel like a lot of CEOs are figureheads for the most part, where like they're just there for the public eye, and like you don't want to be the CEO for the most part for some power struggles, just because you'll be the one that's
Take the
That's
gonna
true.
feel bad. You know, it's just like I feel like you could have power and influence without being a CEO.
the
I feel that's you know
the lizard people did it to us, is what you're saying.
the aliens.
The aliens. I was gonna say I don't want to be that guy, but I feel like I'm sure you guys have heard like every conspiracy theory you can always just say or aliens. You know, like who's to say like aliens just didn't release COVID on us or aliens? You know,
Nah, I don't know.
they were
I
just
can't put aliens on this one. I can't count them for this one. I got them for other stuff, but
they were just testing us. They
not
were just
COVID,
like
bro.
COVID. They're probably immune to COVID, and they're like, let's see how these little ants do to this little. It's like a cold to them, you know, but to us, not a cold.
Nah, bro. Well, honestly, some of it was cold. Some people just got cold.
Yeah, it's weird.
See,
Doesn't mean-
but see, all right, but think about it, right? So it was hitting people that are weak immune systems and old people and stuff like that. So was it that population control just to get rid of the weak a little bit, you know, preserve the human race a little bit better?
Increasing
Nah,
our
I'm joking.
resources.
I mean, I saw that, but
they're gonna say
kind
it's
of crazy.
they're gonna say it's natural selection. You know, the whole Darwinism, fittest
dun
of
dun dun.
the fitness, whatever it is, the survival of the fittest, rather.
Mhm.
But I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay.
That's just the excuse they want us to believe. But we got our hats on, so we know better.
Yeah, I can think freely
We're
right now.
protected right now.
Protected. So, COVID. I don't know anything else to say on that theory. Like COVID, yeah, man-made. I mean,
Nah,
I think it's a good start. That's number one.
I'm in. So,
Yeah.
if you didn't know, we all believe in COVID was a sham. So we're all
all
tapped.
all right.
We're all
I
tapped.
hope you got vaccinated. I am a big.
I got
advocate of
vaccinated.
vaccine-
So.
I'm a big advocate of vaccines.
I got my chip. Don't worry. I got my chip.
Um,
I got my chip. I got my chip twice. I got the upgrade too.
But it wouldn't be a
I got-
surprise if I heard
got the
otherwise.
boosters. And I will say that I understand people's concerns with studies, but
Yeah.
they've been studying the corona vaccine.
There goes
different.
my kids, bro. Thanks, Obama. Anyways, we'll move
Oh
on
my
to
God.
we'll move on to the next one. I don't know, where do we want to go? I mean, I'll share mine. Mine's pretty. Everyone pretty knows about it. The moon landing was faked.
Dun, dun, dun.
Man never made it to the moon. Everything you've seen was just shot on a Hollywood set. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I think I'm gonna choose to believe that like space exploration is possible. You know, I'm gonna choose to believe that we're able to get that far out in space, and I want to believe the moon landing was not faked, bro.
You want to believe it, but like, why is the flag, blowing when there's no air or wind in space?
True.
Like, what's all that about?
Cameras back in the day, bro. You can't trust technology. You know what I'm saying?
I don't
But
know.
well, in the same sense, it might help you out. So I don't know. That'd be crazy, bro. The world, because Russia was also going hard, trying to beat America and stuff, or so it's like if it was faked, and then Russia would find out, bro, and they would go to the moon themselves. Like, I don't know, they wouldn't take that out.
We got there, but I just think when we got there, it could have been faked.
You see,
Lance, was it Lance or Neil? Neil is the bicyclist. Lance is the astronaut. Or is it the other way around?
Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. Lance Armstrong's the steroid user, whatever it is, the doper.
Okay.
With one test.
With one nut, yeah. With one nut.
I think it was. I wouldn't put it past us to have some propaganda on American exploration into space, but that goes into part of my other theory, which I don't know if I should say it now or later.
Oh, save it. Wait, save it, because I got one last thing to say. So you guys are.
Okay.
I guess you keep talking about it. It's fine.
No, you guys are showing a lot of patriotism here for United States. We made it first to the moon. Let's go. I'll agree with you guys. I don't believe that conspiracy theory. I'm a big advocate of space, and I think we did land on the moon. I have to believe it. I just think it's one of those cool things we were able to do. To the naysayers, say who was it was shot, it was faked, whatever, respect. I don't blame you why you believe that. Government has lied to us time and time after again. But I don't know. I just think it's one of those things where one of those proud moments in humanity I don't want to take away from us. So, you know.
Wait, hello.
He's
said
an astronomist or future astronomist, astronomer.
Astronomer.
So they believe, and we have to believe.
I gotta
See the
believe it.
vision.
You know, I gotta believe it. So, again,
Yeah.
could be wrong, could be aliens again, but
And also
Same with
the
us.
quote, "One step for man, one step for mankind,"
It's
or
a
"one giant
bar.
leap for mankind."
It's a bar.
Like
That's a bar.
That's a
You
bar.
can't
that's
just,
something
a
you
bar.
only say when you in on the moon. Like you can't
That's a
say
bar.
that. Like I'm sorry. Like
that was I think who said, was it Neil or I think I forgot their names. Neil Armstrong.
I feel like Neil probably
Buzz
gets
Aldrin.
credit, but it's probably like some
I think it
like
was
somebody else said it.
Buzz Aldrin that said it.
you don't
Could be wrong.
remember the second person that landed on the moon. You remember the first, right?
Yeah. But like, nah, it's a bar. If he came out top of his dome, I gotta give it to him. That was
Yeah,
a bar.
like-
that was a bar.
Nah, you knew he was like thinking it. Like, what are you gonna say?
On the
Like,
way
his
up.
pen was
on
on-
the-
like,
The notepad was on fire after he was like,
what if he said some ass? What if it was like the worst thing ever?
Like, hooray, America, go! Like, I'm glad he brought it to humankind. He didn't say like
You know, like-
America's first. Like, nah, this.
"Yo, right? No America propaganda
Yeah,
bullshit. Like,
yeah.
say America first."
Yeah.
You know, that's where you know it would have been fake. You know,
Yeah.
one like that's a bar.
That was good. So, all right. So we all believe it. So, I'm glad to hear that. Let's move on to the next one. Edmund, what did you have? What else did you have?
You're like, yeah, I'll just go get rid of. I mean, Gio, did you wanna?
I mean, we can say I'll go first.
Yours and then, or,
So my theory is that the pyramids had to be either made by aliens or influenced by aliens, because the fact that it was so long ago and that I don't know how good their math was, but it's literally like they're lined up under stars, you know what I mean, with the tips like, you know what I mean, like perfect, you know, on some crazy, like I don't know. So to me, there had to be some kind of like otherworldly influence, or if it was aliens, they were like highest, because also it's like these heavy ass blocks that they're moving up, and it's super high up, so like they didn't have cranes, they didn't have like, you know, this took like real strength and stuff like that, and like I don't know, and to have the intricate hallways and stairways and everything else to do all that must have been their life purpose, like Egyptians. I don't know.
So
That's
I got a lot to say about this. Actually, we're gonna spend a good amount of time on this one because I got a lot to say on this one. But just to add on to it, like just to add on to the theory, what I've heard is like similar, like you said, using maybe technology more advanced in the time. Also, like what was the purpose of them? You know, like I feel like that always gets brought up. Like, you know, they say it was like a ceremonial burial place for the pharaohs, the gods, or whatever. But yeah, tombs. But like when they explore them, my understanding, like there was a lot more that was going on in these pyramids other than just like burial chambers or whatever. Like, and to Gio's point, like why are they aligned with like the stars? Like what is the purpose of that? Like what's going on there? Why were I think they said like back when they were made there was like a gold tip on them. Like some sort of metal was placed on them. Like why did they do that? Was that decorative, or was there another, like there's just so many things.
That's the beacon.
Yeah, there's just so many. That was like the beacon to the rest of the universe. Like, hey, we're here. We landed. You know, for the aliens. But
yeah,
you know, I before I share like what I think, like yeah, there's just I don't know anything to add, Edmund. Like there is a lot to question here.
I mean, I agree, and I think it's just like there's a whole lot of other stuff where it's the pyramids were in Egypt, but like there were portals that connected to the Mayans and Incas in South America, you know, or like there was means of communication to various different places in the United States. So like, you know, the whole who discovered this first. I think it just goes to show how long civilization has been around, and there's probably advanced technology that we had back then that we just lost access to because we didn't deserve it. So Yeah, I believe that one. I agree. Obviously, the tombs were the previous rulers, aliens or not. Um, they were the original puppet masters who ended
Hmm.
up dying. You know.
The way I see it is like the aliens came, well, like an alien or something like that, right? And then instructed somebody to be the pharaoh, and then basically they would build a tomb, and since it was like under the star or whatever, it's like the once he dies, the light comes down, portal takes his soul, and he goes up. You know what I'm saying?
There's some sci-fi stuff going on here.
Yep, yep, yep. If you can see it, if you can visualize it.
I think I see it.
Mhm.
What I'll say to this is like I've honestly flip flopped over the years on this, like this specifically, the whole what's going on with these Great Pyramids. Like I think when I was younger, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, we were obviously taught that the Egyptians made it over thousands of
Hmm.
years or whatever. I was like, oh, that's cool. Okay, I can buy into that. The more you learn, you think like, all right, yeah, like I don't see why millions and millions of people couldn't have done this. But then you grow up and you start to realize like a few more things, and then I like, all right, maybe that's a little too impressive, especially for the time. Like, there's something to question here, and I think I went to like the whole alien thing. They started questioning more of like, did humans do this? Um,
Hmm.
and then yeah, I was kind of just in a limbo of like, I don't know what to believe here, but I think now I kind of do err more on the side of like alien or some sort of advanced technology. Like I don't know, maybe I'm just too cooked, but like I do think like someone gave them more information than they probably should have had back then. I don't know
And like
who.
more focus and like more like I don't know.
Yeah, because it just to me like Gio said like the blocks themselves were like tons and tons of pounds, and like I can see like a collective effort, but like how many actually people could do that? Like because these things are massive.
Not millions, millions or
Why
hundreds of
three
thousands
too?
of
Like,
people. That is more than just three pyramids. I think those are the main
Yeah,
ones.
I think. I mean,
uh,
I think we talk. I think
Oh,
these are
like three.
mainly.
Are you saying
Yeah.
there's three core ones that like in particular that you researched yourself?
no, I'm saying like, well, I'm thinking of like the three main ones, and then the
Yeah,
Sphinx,
because
like
I think that's what
the
most people refer to, like the Great Pyramids of Pisa or Giza, or the
Giza.
the the
Yeah,
three,
Yo,
the
that
three.
just connects to my theory even more now.
bum
Yeah,
bum
like
bum.
I don't know. It makes sense the more you look into it. Like, again, I wouldn't say no to it because like there's just a lot to question here. Like I don't know. Like the Egyptians were definitely advanced for their time, and that's a cool
Hmm.
thought. But what
There's more
like
to it than that.
yeah, like I just feel like there's just too many unexplained answers. Like it just I know not everything gets answered, but to me it
Mm.
just I don't know, like and maybe I just like to believe like there is some kind of ancient lost civilization. Maybe aliens have been here forever. And we'll get into that here in a moment, but yeah, no, this one I think I'm gonna believe it. Like aliens definitely had a hand in that.
And like what other people said, like the other stuff like Easter eggs, Stonehenge,
Yeah, there's a
Yeah,
exactly.
like they
Giza.
created those like other seven wonders of the world, or are they seven wonders, or at least like
Part
Something
of
like
other,
them.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
part of them, yeah.
or like some stuff that are just undescribable. Where is it possible that humans did this? Sure,
I
but
think a lot. I think a lot of it is like humans advancing and trying to like understand God, basically, or understand like their creator. So like some of these, like the pyramids, is basically like they're basically are ways to appease to the God. Like he was a pharaoh. He was the one talking to God for us, and you know what I mean. So this is like gonna give him the proper burial with all his goods, because when he goes to heaven, he gets all of it or something. I don't know, but maybe the Stonehenge is like the ancient people, like the I don't even know. Is the Stonehenge like Neanderthal times, or like I don't even know?
No.
Like it's like BC though. It's like
I
400
think
BC.
it's still old. Maybe not as old as the pyramids. I mean, we gotta fact check that, but
Yeah, we gotta
it's
give you
definitely
if you got the fact checks.
one of
Uh,
those like same thing. They weighed so much. It's like how did they get there? Why are they there? You know what I mean? Like
yeah, and when you think about it, it's like I with the Stonehenge is like, how do you like? What do you? Is it like chiseled or like? Let me see. Let me look at them.
people who were turned into stone and then just
mm,
buried, you know, Because
That's
that's another theory where like there's like weird, like giant animal shaped islands that are like all rock and stuff, where something turned those into like turned the large creatures into stone. So
He be saying hunter gatherer time, which is even way further back. So that's the thing. I mean,
yeah. See, that's like they didn't have barely. They had no knowledge of math, so they just built something off symmetry. Like obviously, I'm looking at it now. Like wear and tear from weather and stuff broke it down, but it's pretty symmetrical and it's pretty like you know what I mean. Like
Yeah.
just clean. It's clean.
maybe too clean, like aliens.
Like the Stonehenge is pretty clean in turn. Like if you take away the wear and tear from the
they gave us the knowledge, like basic math.
with police
Yeah.
systems, which is crazy. Why would they even? Yeah, hunter gatherers having police systems. Like at that case, they would have freaking horse carriages or something to get the freaking.
Even
Yeah.
having that is like too advanced. Bro.
See, like I said, I used to think like maybe humanity was just, but like I don't know. I feel like when I was young, I was giving humanity too much credit. Now that I'm older, I'm like, no, we're dumb. Like we're actually like.
Look at how dumb we are
Like,
now. So you
like-
can even imagine
Yeah.
without basic education.
Yeah, so I'm like,
Or rather, we have means to spread knowledge now that they didn't have back then.
yeah, someone definitely had to let them know something because like. I'm not to downplay humanity too much. I know we've done a lot of incredible things, but also like we're still like pretty stupid. We're still pretty primitive. Like,
A lot of
But
this
it
we
also-
learned in the last 400 years. A lot of these things, you know what I'm saying?
That's a whole
So-
other thing. So
But another thing is like now in the future we have so many things to worry about. Not like in the future I guess, but in present times, we have a lot of things to worry about. So we're not focused on like one thing. Like I feel like in like Egypt or these other times, like they just wake up and it's like
that's all they
We're gonna-
focused on.
we're gonna appease the gods today. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna wake up and they work towards the pyramids every day. If that was the case.
You
Or,
see, that's why I used to think like I feel like I gave humanity so much credit. I was like, maybe that's all that it was, because it was like for millions and millions of lives. The slaves that worked on these, that literally was their purpose in life. Unfortunately, like it was just to build this pyramid. But I
You know,
don't know.
what's crazy is like we have documents of like what's been going on in the 1700s in like Europe and America. But what if these things were not that long ago? We just didn't have it documented in places like South America and Africa.
It's just been around, and we're just now documenting it. You're saying,
And like it's like like Wakanda's not real, but like the theory of being a lot more technologically advanced than you're giving it up to be, But
maybe this just goes back to the government hiding, because like I mean, this is known. The government has technology that's like 20-30 years into the future that the public will get access to. Like they
Area
already
51.
like imagine like AI, for example. Like we're just seeing the beginnings of it. The government has had AI and has probably a more advanced AI than we can even imagine. Like this is why all these things come out of like these crazy things that will happen with AI come out, because the government's already working on this. They're already doing it. They're already aware of it. Like
They got like
It's
shit that
nothing
will
new.
like scan your body or something like that and then shoot you. Like they got stuff that like will kill people, but it's like in
yeah,
testing.
like they
you know what
have
I mean?
laser sensor, like that's been around.
But like
for,
but like advanced stuff where it's like a little camera on here will like detect it. Like I don't know. Like I'm just like
Mm.
I think that if we could just move in the conversation a little bit, like Area 51, like the government might have some like crazy shit that we don't even.
they definitely do. We get
Like
that.
inhumane stuff that they eventually will make humane or it's
Yeah.
palatable for humans, but like
We'll touch on it here before we wrap up. But like, all right, so just to put a nice little bow on the whole pyramid conversation. So we all think, what do we think? Like I'm going with aliens had a hand in it, 100%. There's just I'm sorry, that's where I'm at right now.
I'm gonna say, like yeah, but at the same time, it's like we already understand what slave labor is capable of doing.
That's true.
Like how America has been created, so I wouldn't put it past having a different slave force create the pyramids as well.
I don't know if it was slaves though. I feel like
And,
I feel like
the
there's-
Great Wall of China and like other things like that.
Yeah.
Like the pyramids, I feel like is something where like they can convince the masses to just like this is what we're gonna do,
That's what it
guys.
was.
Like,
Creating the idea of like
That's what it was.
I could
It was the
I could
masses.
believe in
It was
that.
the the masses, the lower classes of Egyptians, but also a lot of slave labor. Like again,
but it was like slaves then is like prisoners of war. Like you know what I
who?
mean? It's not like color of your skin or something. It's like
No,
prisoners.
no. I
Like
mean, no. A slave.
we captured these people right here.
No, no, no.
Or
Don't.
you
Yeah.
forgot to pay your debts.
Don't get it twisted with like American slave. I'm not saying like
Yeah,
American
yeah.
slave. Like they were slaves. That's what
Yeah.
they were.
just
but
a different kind.
they were
of,
just
but
like they were like you said, prisoners of war, or maybe slaves from other countries. It's not like American slavery. We're not comparing it to that. That's a whole different thing. But I mean, to Edmund's point, like a lot of America was built off slave labor. These pyramids, a lot of it was built off slave labor. And like, who do you think was carrying those tons and tons of bricks? If humans actually did it, quote unquote, it was the slaves who would have done it, not the lower class citizen of Egypt. Like, you know what I mean? So,
or maybe
I think it was the aliens, though.
No, I think everybody had a hand. I think everybody would have a hand in that. If it was not aliens, bro, I don't think it has to be like a whole like nation of people doing that shit, bro. That shit is way too intricate. Like there was the scientists,
Hey.
people doing it, the mathematicians getting that
I
shit.
used,
Like
I used to think like y'all. I'm more advanced. I'm more woke now. I'm more woke. It's the aliens, bro. Trust.
like
But I will say there's definitely some merit to that because of what my next theory will bring up.
All right. Let's so all right, so you guys fall on the side of like, we did that. I'm going
It
to
was
go
more man-made, but I wouldn't be opposed to the idea that aliens or something.
Okay.
I brought it up. Oh, go ahead, go.
Oh, I'm going to go with aliens like had a hand in it as well. I'm not going to say like they just like dropped it on us, but they influenced / gave us the technology, the ways, the knowledge of how to do it, and we did it. But it wasn't like it wasn't us, solely us. That's me. What about you, Gio?
I brought it up, so I think there's a part of me that thinks aliens did it, but the way Egypt was with their own hieroglyphics, like they had a very complex, they made paper, like they did a lot of things, like, so I'm gonna give them the pyramids.
And
It was on a different type of timing.
Who taught them?
I think whatever I think they just got lucky with somebody that was just smart. I don't know, like
They got a genius. They just got a genius.
like and just somebody, and they had a group of people that was willing to work together. Like some were slaves, yes, but I think the idea of appeasing a god and like stuff like that, and because they were, like they had pharaohs, like they had the gods and stuff. They were hip.
Last thing to say on this: what if their god was an alien, Gio? You ever think of that?
Yeah, I think that's what I think that was it. Or if it was aliens, like their god was an alien, or he was appointed by the alien, and then he gets his soul sucked from the top of the pyramid.
I like that little visual that you believe in. I wouldn't believe.
Because they're under the
far.
star, bro. They're under the star. There's no way they're like under the star for no reason. They just think like.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, Edwin.
And to do it perfectly too, with the tip of the like, they got to start all the way over there, and they got to start all the way over there. And
Just
it's a freaking.
aligning it is too perfect.
The accuracy is crazy.
The base is a square, so it's like they have to build a perfect square.
Yeah.
And then get all the freaking.
Yeah. The accuracy is kind of crazy.
Math was created in Egypt, I believe.
I think.
So it's just like
actually,
or
The abacus or some shit. I don't know. I don't know. No, that's in China. I think the abacus is China, bro. I think.
I thought it was the Arabs that created math. I could be wrong.
I don't know, bro. The Mesopotamians, bro.
I don't know. I thought math was made by like, I don't know. I could be wrong. Whatever.
somewhere something.
Definitely wasn't.
Aliens.
Definitely wasn't white people.
Dang. Shots fired, bro.
Edmund,
Well.
let's go to your point. Your I think this is the last one we'll talk about, but your conspiracy theory, which I think
really?
will. I mean, we could talk about other things after it, but like, I think this is the last one that we
Okay.
had to bring.
Well, this one ties in a little bit of it touches on a little bit of alien life, but I think the real aliens are living underwater. I think that there is like a secret world within the ocean where if the earth is 70% made of water, there has to be life forms. I would say whether different species, whether it's aliens or just the real species of earth is living underwater and we're just the surface dwellers that are the front for everything, you know, where we are obviously able to create our own systems of government and power, create like the earth. But I feel as if we accompany too much, or sorry, too little of the earth to really be the real dwellers or to be the only dwellers. And I feel as if that the government is distracts us by ideas of space and just like going outwards and just doing a lot of different things so that we don't understand and what's realized what's really underneath us and the fact that the world is dying or that we're like Miami's gonna be underwater in like the next 100 years or something,
New York too,
but
bro.
like the world is drowning and like a lot of it is global warming, but it's like
Or aliens.
Bum,
that's
bum,
also
bum.
part of it. So it could also be where aliens have through via the Bermuda Triangle have created like either a portal, another triangle aspect of it, where I think it's like the Bermuda Triangle is like a port in Puerto Rico, Cuba, and I think Florida. I could be wrong, but either way, it's like some form of in the Caribbean, and that is where we have. As of last year, like there was like 40 like airplanes and ships that disappear in the Bermuda Triangle, and it's all the eels in Europe and America, they all migrate to the Bermuda Triangle to mate. Those eels, they look like aliens, that's just like another portal to it.
Dang, I gotta see
But
these eels.
like if you just look up eels, or like look up the fact that like all the eels,
They're
go to the Bermuda Triangle
They're sea snakes.
to mate, and stuff like that. But aside from that, I really do think that there's like underwater worlds, like Atlantis and all that stuff is all real, and we're just fake dwellers that's not a part of the real world, So I think that's whether it's aliens that are down there or the real Earth dwellers, the real humans or water humans, like that is my theory or conspiracy of, and maybe I just love the water, but I would love to, I don't know.
um,
Like I truly believe in like underwater cities that have not been submerged or like that were just a part of the earth, like as is.
well, like in a
And
bubble.
not a bubble, where it's just like they just are able to
They exist down there.
exist
Like-
because of like, yeah. The same way like we go as high as the mountains, like I feel as if the earth's like I feel like we're just like at the surface level. Like the inner earth is not really like magma or it's not just magma and lava. I think it's truly because magma and lava could exist within the ocean.
So like
it's pretty much just the pressure, right? Like that it keeps us from like going lower and lower. It's just like the
y'all
So
see
I think there's like another pocket of air or just beings that could either like sustain themselves within the water, or like they have gills, or like through whatever it may be. But I just think that
evolution.
so
there's existence of life down there.
y'all seen the Godzilla movie? The Godzilla versus King Kong?
Oh, well,
No.
something like that.
Something like that, yeah. The Middle
No.
Earth, the whole Middle Earth thing. So like in that
Middle Earth.
yeah,
and- yeah.
in that movie, Geo, essentially, it's like what Edmund's describing, like where the core of the Earth is supposed to be. There's this whole other, like they call it Middle Earth in the movie, or something like that, something along the line. But essentially, it's like a whole other, just area of existence and living. Like there's forests, mountains, sky, everything that not really. I don't know. How is there a sky in Middle Earth? Now that I think about it, that don't really make any sense. There can't be a sky in the core of the Earth.
But how is it? Yeah, where does the light come from? At
Yeah.
that point, there's
Now-
no light.
Now I'm starting to question the movie, and now I'm starting to question the theory. but no, to Emma's point, I mean, there doesn't necessarily have to be natural light down there. It doesn't have to be the sky and the sun down there, but there still can be light down there in some sense, like magma, something. But I think what Emma's describing, you're describing something like that, like a Middle Earth, right? Like
Yeah.
there's land. Okay, yeah. I'm
Well, the
there.
fish that are down that deep are fluorescent. Like some of them are like.
Yeah,
you know what I
exactly.
mean?
There
Like,
could still
they're-
be light down there. I don't know. I
Then
was
there will be like some thin skinned, like fluorescent ass humans or like
Yeah.
or
amphibian
not even
creatures.
they could see in the dark. I would
Yeah,
assume, or
yeah.
like just based on evolution of it, like
Yeah.
having to survive. And that's why they don't come to the surface because the surface is too bright for
It's
their
too bright.
eyes.
Yeah. See. Okay.
Mm.
Sorry.
Bum, bum,
My
bum.
mind was just on the visual of the movie, and then I started questioning that. But I'm back here. I'm back with it.
All I want to say though is I
The
want
sky threw you off. That was just
Yeah,
like
because I was like describing it. I'm like, wait, how would there be a sky down there? And then I thought of the movie. I'm like, that movie's so inaccurate now. Anyways,
But whoever, like the people that died in that submarine, RP to them. But this is definitely what kind of mode they were
Oh.
in. Like they were definitely like, let's see what's on the bottom of this fucking.
they went to see the Titanic.
that's what I'm
Oh, they went to
saying.
go see the
They
Titanic?
weren't
Oh, okay.
even-
Yeah, they.
Oh, but they had like PS2 controller like
That's
for the.
so like all
That's-
of the
that's a whole
technology that
different-
we
that's a
use
whole
to try
different
to go
thing.
see space. We have all of this Earth that we haven't even like observed yet. We should use our technology to try to get deeper.
Okay.
See, I think we haven't, but Area 51, FBI, governments have definitely tried to go deeper and deeper in the water so that they can come up from somewhere else. Like, you know what I mean? Like under the radars. Like they've definitely been trying to do that shit at least.
So
And they've encountered what they've encountered, and they wanna tell
Or
us.
like and like the people underneath the water, like whoever the beings are, it's like we're gonna lose in a battle underwater, so it's just like the fishmen. Shout out to One Piece, the fishmen of the underwater world. They're obviously, if the world is like, they have the advantage, like 70% of the world is water, so I think there's no way that there isn't life forms or beings out there.
so
And they stopped us from exploring.
I'll say this. I think more recently, I'd be a proponent of this because more recently we've heard like, the aliens, all the stuff about the government hiding the aliens and stuff like that coming out. And obviously there's been like UFO sightings for decades now, probably even centuries at this point. Like, and the thing they always say about UFO sightings that they always happen around bodies of water, land of what, like, like land or not really. Well, it could be land, but also just like bodies of water over the ocean, whatever. And it's like, okay, where are all these UFOs coming from and where are they going? And more recently, I've heard like maybe they are going down, and we don't know where because obviously we don't want to follow them. We don't know too much what's down there. And to Edmund's point, like I wouldn't put it past that the aliens have been harboring on this planet for centuries, thousands of years now, but they've just been hiding, burrowed beneath us.
They're watching us.
Chilling. They're watching us. We think we're looking for them. No, they've been watching us the whole time. Whether we know it or not, I don't know. Maybe the government does know, because like I said, like they obviously Area 51. They know they have the aliens. They have the aircrafts. They have all that information, but they just don't want to scare us because they know what's really down there, and they're scared to even go explore it, and they don't want to let us know. So I'm gonna go with. I kind of think Edmund's onto something here.
Picking a war that you're gonna lose. It's
like rather,
and like,
pick your battles up here when you go down there, it's over.
or at least like we should start creating infrastructure underwater, like to make it inhabitable to some degree, where it's just like, like where you have to, like we should have cities on the water, basically.
That just sounds like rich people stuff right now.
No, like it's something that we should invest in, especially if the world is dying. Like it's instead of trying to go explore space, like make our world currently inhabitable.
Well, you got Elon Musk, so he's definitely going that way.
And that's what I'm saying. Like that's so stupid to go the opposite. Why are we gonna go visit the unknown? That's, I guess I would say, more vast than what we is. Like I could imagine that it's like going underwater. There's like it's a lot. Like going into space is limitless, but there has to be a limit to how far you can go in the world. That's just like more predictable through. There has to be smart people that could do it, I would say, or at least try.
I mean, you need somebody like Elon Musk, basically, like to advocate for the deep sea. Like he's so passionate about SpaceX, all that stuff, so it helps.
He's also motivated by his pockets, but that's a different conversation. But to Evan's point, like I think, to me, I've always wondered. I mean, I'm the opposite. I actually don't like the ocean. I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm scared, but I've always wondered like what the fuck is actually down there. And maybe to your point, like, do I want to even know what's down there? No, because it's nothing pretty. But I've always been like, I'm more of a space kind of guy, so like I fall on this like more on the advocate, like, you know, it's okay to explore outside, but it always was curious to me, like how at this point we know more about space than we know about the ocean. To me, that never made any sense because it's like, to your point, like why aren't we looking at alternative solutions here on Earth? Like, have we just given up on the planet completely? Do we want it? Do we want to give up on the planet Earth? Think about it, Edmund. If we know there's aliens down there and we know the planet's dying, do we want them to like do something about it, or like do we just we're
it must
okay?
be easier in space or something. It
Yeah,
must be easier
like-
to try to find another planet that we could live
Like
on.
maybe we're just
Or-
like screw them, let them have this dying planet. We'll just move on elsewhere and they can deal with it, or who knows, man. This opens up it's a can of worms here. Like there's a lot going on in here.
I don't know. Something about the water. It doesn't excite me. Like I don't want to see what's deeper and deeper. Because to me it just seems like it's gonna be like exotic fish. The most you're gonna get, like you're gonna get an exotic crab or something like that.
That's what they want you to believe, Joe.
And I feel like space, it just leads to just more imagination, I feel like, on what could actually be the next life form that we ever see or something. Like if we could ever encounter another life form that is equivalent to a human or something like that, or like somewhere there, I think space has the more opportunity for that. Like, you know, because all it requires for space is like the perfect sun, perfect lighting from the sun, their sun, a water resource, you know what I mean, like the right gases, and then for something to be in the water, I feel like it's like it gotta withstand the pressure. There's no light. There's like, I don't know. There's no surface, like, you know what I mean, like there's nothing. There's no
fair, but if the Earth is 30% land, and quote unquote all of human life occupies 30% of the land, or 30% of the Earth, what's to say there are no life forms in 70% of it that could inhabit what makes up 70% of where we live?
Maybe they're just
know?
tiny. Like, you know, like those seahorse people or whatever. Like you get like the fake people, seahorse people.
Little crow
Maybe-
people,
Would they be-
little
no,
crow
I feel
people.
like
just
you guys are not like
No,
understanding.
whoa.
how big-
I said
like,
I
it's like-
I believe
Yeah,
you. I believe
No, I know
you.
you, but like it's just like you're making it seem like.
Let me tuck my head in a little bit better.
I know, right? Like, come on, making it's a little too loose, bro. Like, I feel as if like, because 30% of the land encompasses all of the skyscrapers, all of these different things. So if 70, like, you know, like you have a circle, like all of the worth, like 30% of the land is like going upwards of all the skyscrapers and all those things. 30% of the water, 70% of the water going down is also capable of having
Like if you
the
flip it
same
over.
is capable of having the same amount of mass going downwards, because like it's sinking as opposed to going up on the actual physical land. And what's to say that there aren't life forms that could live in that 70%? You know?
I'm with Edmund.
I think it just looks like a nasty fish, though. It's gonna look
Yeah.
like a weird ass fish.
Nasty alien.
I mean, that's like mermaids, sirens, all those things, like they come into play, and like fish, humans, like, you know,
The fishman.
or fish folk. Yeah.
Fish folk.
I think they exist, and like they have too much power, and like that is my number one conspiracy. And I would rather go deep into the ocean than go into space. I wouldn't be opposed to going into
Because
space.
honestly,
but I
all
just
that
think going into the, you know,
all that would constitute for like a civilization or something like that, like for like, you know, for fish or whatever, they just have to have like a governing body and like, you know, like maybe, you know, like some kind of hierarchy or something. Like if they could do that, I could see that, you know what I mean? Because they don't technically need to have like be able to speak to humans. They don't need like you know, be equivalent to humans, but in the same sense they've figured out a way to keep a certain like species alive by community and by like, or like, you know what I mean, or like a way they communicate and shit. Like maybe that's what all animals do, yes, but like in a
because
more
we're
sophisticated,
animals at the
like-
end of the
like
day.
sonar.
more
We're
sophisticated.
It's like
Yeah.
sonar.
Yeah, but we're just more sophisticated, and I'm just saying that they're so sophisticated that they're able to hide from, you know, like human nature. We like to conquer. We like to just take all the resources, and like that is depleting their resources that they think would eventually be taken away. Like they have their own government bodies that are like I feel like the fish, the sharks, all those things. Those are just lower level life forms, like the same way that we have monkeys
Are
and like the equivalents to like other different
are we
animal life, like rodents, I guess.
are
Like the
we
equivalents of fish.
are we more sophisticated though? Like who's to say like they're just not more
Allegedly more
yeah, who's to
sophisticated
say like
because
the aliens are down there and they're just more in tune with what's going on around them. They have their own form of communication which we can't understand. And like Edmund said, like sea creatures, like just fish and other are just other animals that live down there, part of their ecosystem. But like they're the alpha dominant species down there. Because I agree with Edmund. Like I'm just saying, like yeah, the numbers just aren't numbering. Like 30% of the Earth populated by humans, animals, whatever, and we like quite honestly like there's so much land. 30% like is like remember Earth is huge. So like the ocean is 70% with just trenches that like Edmund said. If you think of it like a depth wise, like us on the surface level to like let's say the atmosphere, it's like double that from like the ocean and down, like sea level and down, or like triple that probably. Like just the depth wise is like so like yeah, like who's to say they just don't have civilizations down there, some sort of creatures down there
too deep for us to
just access,
and
or they're well hidden, like
She's just like nah.
No, my mind's going everywhere. I'm trying to envision some kind of civilization underwater.
It could be like nasty sea creatures, like Adrian says. It could be a fishman island, like Semi says. Who knows if they have thumbs?
Where are the nasty creatures talking about them?
Like like I said, like UFOs and stuff. Where are they coming from? We say they're coming from space, but what if they're coming from right underneath us? Like we don't know. Like what if their technology is so advanced? Like we just don't know. They're just whole different world down there. Whole different world.
No, yeah, I understand where the curiosity comes from because again, yeah, like the water is just so much, like this just covers everything. But I think or maybe there will be older like evolutions of things under the water. Like the further down we go, like it would be like
dinosaurs still vibing down there.
Not dinosaur, well, like the
sea,
aquatic ones or something.
Yeah, like sea dinosaurs. Yeah.
Yeah, like aquatic ones, or like early versions of like other life thing that instead of going up, they evolved to go down or something like that. Okay, that work.
I mean, there's some sharks that have been around for hundreds of years. So
I'm gonna still go with aliens. Aliens are down there. I'm with you, Evan. Aliens are down there.
All right, hold on. Before we go further, with aliens, are we talking about green creatures or just whatever?
Just extraterrestrial, like not from Earth, came from elsewhere and got onto this planet. Like chances are, I mean, people like to. I mean, everyone has their own evolution theory, whatever. Who's to say humans aren't aliens? Like, quite honestly.
What if eventually we like get out of like our solar system or whatever, and then finally reach that next life, and then we're watching them for a while and seeing them grow?
Then we're the aliens. At that point,
crazy.
At that point, we're literally the aliens. If we leave this Earth, if we do what we tend to do, go to Mars, like we are quite literally, we then become the aliens. Has anyone even thought to think of that? Like,
we eventually could be the aliens.
Yeah, like that's. And like I said, who's to say we aren't already aliens? Like who's
trying to go conquer the world elsewhere? Like that's just,
who's to say like crazy. All life on Earth didn't come from a living organism on a rock in space and just came down, crashed on Earth, and then that's how like again, everyone has their own evolutionary theory.
Like Goku.
But yeah, like who's to say? Like we don't know. So who knows? But yeah, so I guess me and Edmund, we're on the same page here. Something's down there. I believe you, bud. I don't really want to know what it is, but I believe you. Something's down there.
I do. Like if I'm dying, send me to the Bermuda. Send me to the place where I can go to inner Earth.
We'll sink your body.
The real Earth.
We'll sink your body and see if it ever gets recovered from.
I'm putting my ashes up in space.
There you go. I'm with you. I'll go up to space and do that for you.
Put my ashes in the ocean.
Hopefully they get a little scoop of DNA and recreate me.
not even my ashes, my body. Just throw my body into the ocean,
We'll just
like the
dump
deep
you.
ocean.
Yeah,
Bro.
we'll dump you and just let you sink.
If I get eaten by a shark or something, so be it. But
You will
hopefully they
be
revive me deep underwater.
They'll get you, bro. You'll
you'll be
okay.
bones in 20 minutes, bro.
You'll be like the submarine,
But it's not
vaporized.
about. It's about your soul, bro. So once they get your soul, then they can recreate you, bro.
Soul essence.
Reincarnated into a seahorse.
So you're gonna be a seahorse human. Like I said, you'll move like this.
Exactly, yeah. Like that's what I'm thinking, bro.
They would like reincarnate me
The
into
webby
like
ass hands, like
a whale or something.
A whale.
Nah, bro.
So
Whale
random.
life is not fun.
That's
Bro.
so random.
An orca, those are the bullies of the ocean, bro.
Yeah, they're menaces, dude.
Killer whales.
Killer whale. I saw a video the other day. This killer whale went on a beach to catch a seal, and then just casually made itself back into the ocean. It's fucking crazy.
Or like a
Bro
great
thought he
blue
was
whale.
safe.
It's fucking crazy, dude. All right, but
But even that, they even need to go up to the, for land, for air sometimes too. So it's just like
animals are. Listen, as much as we like to hype humans up and how intelligent we are, animals are a different type of intelligent. Probably a lot more intelligent than humans in some respect. Who's to say they don't know what the hell's down there? They very well could know what's down there, and they're just like, yeah, we ain't messing with them either. They come up. They
they've
come
just
up
been
here.
there longer.
They're like, well, we'll chill with the humans. Like, yeah, they're not great, but they're better than whatever's down there. So,
Dang.
who's to say, man? Who's to say?
We're not even like that.
We're not even like that. People like to like. I don't know. I like that whole theory of like aliens they come here and they just observe us because like to them we're just like little ants. We're just like like how we view ants. We just look at them, we observe them. They're like, oh, this is just an ant. They're harmless. They're not gonna do shit. Who's to say like an alien doesn't come to Earth and just look at humanity like, oh, look at these primitive little dumb creatures. Like they're just ants. They don't know what the hell's out there.
We just came off the pandemic season, so now it's kind of like the aftermath of the pandemic. They're chilling right now.
We need a
Whoever's
new
watching
pandemic
us.
in the water.
Who's to say, man? But one last thing to tie this up, because I actually thought of another one, because I actually learned about this recently, and I kind of like it. Like the theory of like, all right, so there was some sort of ancient civilization, right? Like think of like today's world. We had all the technology, advanced technology, just set millions and millions of years ago, right? Before the dinosaurs, before humans, like us humans were. Some ancient civilization with life forms, with maybe it was some sort of human, maybe it was an alien, whatever existed. And
Is Barley cutting out for you?
Yeah,
I just
a little bit.
Oh, can you hear me? Sorry, I just burped there, so maybe that's what it was.
No,
I don't know if
even
it's-
before you've been cutting out like a little bit.
Oh. Can you guys hear
Like-
me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn.
Maybe it's just your mic picking it up.
the
I don't know.
the government's really tapped in cutting my mic today, but
Something's going
Cut the
on.
mic. Cut the
something's
mic.
going on.
Something's going on.
They don't want you to.
But like, okay, so
First episode with technical difficulties like this.
there's this ancient civilization, right? And
Mhm.
like a massive wipeout event happened. Everything vanished, and then we kind of reset the clock, and then that's when like all the dinosaurs came, humans, whatever. But like back then, we had all this technology, we had everything, and then let's say like we put aliens in this. They are the ones that gave us the information. They're whatever, and then now we're just like in another cycle of this. Like I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
1000%.
Yeah, I definitely think about that sometimes. Like, yeah, like we're just like not a simulation, but like we're like this simulation. Yeah, it's basically simulation.
We are not the smartest beings to inhabit Earth. I think we're just up. It's just our turn right now. And there's going to be another wave of destroying the Earth, and then we build it back up again. I don't know how much we have to start from scratch, but I mean that's just how it goes. All technology, all things are lost. Whether it's going to be AI that destroys the world and makes us start from scratch this time.
But it's like billions and billions of like. Are you saying like that, bro, or like literally?
Yeah, like because like okay, the Earth is billions and billions of years old, so that's why I said like when we talk about human life as we know it, we talk about thousands, maybe a few million years. I'm talking think like hundreds of millions of years ago.
Like basically saying like this like if we all were to die, like if the whole human population dies, then like the aftermath of everything getting finally
Like
broken down, the
like another
weather
yeah, like another
breaking,
like
yeah,
another million years. Let's say just like another million years happen on
yeah,
Earth. Nothing's here, and then it just starts again. Cause
mm,
I feel like we've been taught like, all right, Earth has existed for billions and billions of years, right? And then for billions or millions of years, like it was uninhabitable. It was just like a core hot planet Earth, no water, whatever. And then eventually all the shit came. But it's like this happened over millions of years. But like that's such a large time frame. It's like, okay, well then what happened in, let's say, the last million years? You know what I'm saying? Let's say, for example, let's just give it a number. 10 million years passed. Let's say for 9 million years it was like that. What about the last million years? Like, who's to say there wasn't a civil? Like, a million years is a long fucking time. Like,
Yeah.
that's enough time for life to happen, life to go away, a lot of shit to happen on this planet, and then like no trace of it left behind because like we just moved on to the next cycle. Like, I don't know. When I think of it like in a timing sense, like that's just so much time. Like, it's very plausible. Like, what if we're just the next cycle? Like, we're just here and this has already happened millions and millions of years ago. I don't know.
like they figured out math already. Then they did their shit with their math.
Exactly. Like,
They finally got to AI at a certain year. Hopefully, we're doing better.
probably not.
Hopefully, we survived our pandemic better than they did. And hopefully, in this life cycle, I do something great, right? We all do something great. This is the one.
Also, you guys talking about AI. I was also thinking the other day, like, you know how you always hear about like AI, it's inevitable. They're gonna uprise and take over and destroy the world. What kind of like predestined, like, why are we, if we believe that to be true, right? I'm not saying that's not true. Like, I can see that happening. If we're saying that that will happen and that's not a good thing, obviously, why do we still pursue, like, are humans really just that arrogant? Like, we think like, okay, this is probably an inevitable thing that will happen. AI will take over the world, but we're gonna do it anyways because we think we can handle the situation.
Yeah.
Like, are we just
I think
that
we're just
arrogant?
Arrogant and
learn.
selfish to the fact that whatever happens, like the negative reactions will be our future generations to deal with.
Jeez,
Oh, that'll be our kids' issue, or that'll be our kids' issue.
that's fucking crazy.
Like I feel as if humans have operated on that premise
Forever.
and it just hasn't changed. It's why things suck right now. Like, oh, inflation. Like, oh yeah, it'll be their issues to worry about, or I'll find a way to make sure my family's good even during that hardship. But there's always going to be someone who's negatively affected by it. And then there's just even people who say like, I don't care, I live my life. It'll be, people are just selfish.
Yeah. I think it's a battle of like good and evil, basically always like with AI. It's like, yeah, we know it's gonna eventually take over, but if the good people don't do it, the bad people are gonna just do it. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna learn AI to do it for fraud and do it for like, you know what I mean? Like, there's literally I don't know if it's still a live site, but it's called like Real Fakes, and basically it would use AI and make you a fake ID now. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
with your picture.
It's probably still out there. I just thought of it this now. What if the AI becomes the scammers? Like, what if I get scammed by fucking AI, bro?
But what is it gonna use the money for? Like,
bro, listen, man. If AI is as scary as they say it will be, like, AI will find something to fucking do with that fucking
They're just
information.
building their resources now because they know they'll need it to some degree.
They're building their neural link, whatever
Yeah,
it
but,
is, like their artificial brain, bro.
what's it called? Like Elon Musk posts it sometimes too, and there's like a place in Boston. It's like the Boston Science, whatever.
Yeah.
But they're building like the robots that like do real stuff. Like they're doing, you know what I mean? And then
Fighting. And
you add the AI to it, then it's like a thinking, processing robot. You know what I
sentient
mean?
being. Yeah.
It's over. Boston
Yeah, it won't
Dynamics.
have emotion, but it will have thoughts. It'll have like.
Yeah, it makes it a
What's to say that it
cold-hearted
doesn't have
killing
emotions?
machine.
No, but what if it's emotions? It's its own sustaining itself. I feel like that's an emotion. Where that's how robots take over because they want to be life forms themselves, or like they want to survive. because otherwise that there would be a function where they just get rid of themselves.
True. Self-destruct. It wouldn't really be killing themselves as there's no emotion behind it. They're just
You know, it would just be
shutting down.
we are no longer serving our purpose since we want to be sentient.
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
I just thought about the other day. I was like, you know, you always hear that, like, AI is not good. It's inevitable. Takeover, destruction, whatever. And I'm like, why are we pursuing this? Why are we doing this? Who is this benefiting? Like, yes, it's benefiting us in the short term. Who is this benefiting in the long term? Other than AI? I don't know.
Goku's
Well, it's
Facelix paradox.
like humans want whatever we can to supplement, human life and make us better. So again, like you're just never gonna. If you're not gonna do it, somebody else is gonna try to figure out a way AI to like say they I don't know, like if there's an issue in the world, they're gonna use all the resources, and AI is just a really, really, really useful tool now. Like, so you'd be dumb not to use AI at this point now.
So that theory that Warlord just brought up, it says those who are aware of the possibility of an AI entity with godlike power but choose not to help bring it about could be punished by that eternity. So you're saying I have to side with AI? Is that
because otherwise I'll be punished by it when it does become. So it's just that's so crazy. It's like how it's like you're creating this villain, like my master. Like my master will treat me right if I continue to bring them. If I bring you to life, it's like AI is Voldemort. Bro.
It's a lose-lose situation.
But what we're saying is that AI is gonna become an evil force. But if AI is what make it, it should be a all thinking, you know what I mean, and be able to balance and figure out what is moral or what ways and stuff like that. Like, it should be a moral thing. Like, I feel like we say it's gonna be evil because humans are naturally evil.
It can't be. It can't be a moral thing because humans aren't moral.
Like, they're the ones.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. So that's what you're saying. If that's what you're saying, humans aren't, naturally good people or inherently good, or then AI will turn into that.
Because you have to understand, like, we all have implicit bias with the way we think, and we don't consider, or rather, a lot of people don't always consider all factors of like humans. Like there's technology out there that doesn't register. A white scientist may create something that doesn't register a black hand because they tested it on a white hand. They don't consider like someone else's point of view or someone's circumstances. And I feel as if AI will do the same thing, where whoever creates it will not consider everyone's circumstances. It'll be it'll just be for their own good, for selfish reasons, or that'll be someone else's job to think about, I guess.
Yeah, it just seems like I said, a lose-lose situation. It's like, all right, help create something that will, again, inevitably destroy us, or choose not to help, but understand that once that inevitable thing happens, they're coming after your ass. So
they can check all your tweets.
Yeah, it's tough. But let's wrap it up. We've been going for a while. It's been fun. Yeah, time's been going quick. But
tinfoil hat got too tight.
What do we want to? Anything last minute to share? Like we talked about a few things. We can always revisit, obviously, and talk about more conspiracies and other paradoxes or theories. AI is always a fun thing to talk about. But I don't know. Anything else to kind of wrap this up before the government completely shuts my mic off again?
The world is ending. Stay woke.
World is ending. Yeah. Government.
Start creating that bunker.
Don't forget, government controls our weather. It's not natural. Aliens exist. 100%. True.
Someone's always watching. Put the black tape over your camera.
Government's
I actually
watching.
do that. That should have been a conspiracy.
No, it's true. It's a crazy world out there. We don't know everything, so.
I will say they know it's true because how come computers have started, newer laptops, they created the little black to block off the camera, So
wait, really?
Yeah.
My work
computer. My work laptop
has a little thing that blocks off the camera.
I always have it on. I never leave it.
Yeah.
The only one that has my Mac doesn't have a cover on it, but that one I gotta start putting tape over it or something.
I have a
Dang.
black piece of electric tape covering my Mac.
Yeah, you got
Dang,
it.
is that serious, bro? Even without the tinfoil hats, bro, we on that shit.
No,
Government.
that I'll take the tinfoil hat off for that one, bro. They watch.
The government
is watching
it's
you,
come
bro.
out. That's what.
That is
Yeah, Edward Snowden.
documented.
Edward
Yeah.
Snowden,
You know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
was gonna
saying?
say that NSA, CIA, like this is all factual. That's actually not even a conspiracy.
That is not a conspiracy. Like that is the cold hard truth.
Yeah. So,
Granted, I think like, are they looking at you like 24/7? Like no, but like
You're looking
do
for
they
trigger
have-
words, bro.
or like like
they have a reason to spy on you. They will.
Like if you say something like bomb right now they're looking at us. See, my bad, guys. Like, you know what I'm saying? So but they checking in real quick, but we're good. So that, they're on the podcast, whatever. Might even stop by, watch the rest of this. So
I don't know. Government's shady. I don't know for some
government
reason.
agent, subscribe, gift us 10,000 with your government resources.
We
Might as well go be for good use.
we kind of brought this up about
I mean, the government could technically promote us inherently, and we would blow up somehow without even knowing, and it would be the government.
Warlords. He's told me about this one. He's convinced that traffic is man-made, and I feel you on that.
Boston's traffic is man-made right now with the construction shit. The fake construction.
Listen.
They do.
I feel where he's coming from, but I'm gonna chalk it up to traffic is just due to idiot drivers, too many cars on the road. Just yeah, I don't know.
We
What
should
to
have
say.
more.
It's more of.
More public transportation would be good.
It's more. I feel like it's more of an infrastructure problem. That's my honest opinion on it.
Bad planning.
But I won't shut you down, Warlord.
Design.
I feel you. Like government got too much control in this world, so they probably don't want to fix the infrastructure for a reason. There's a reason why traffic exists.
We need. That's why we don't have a high-speed train.
Mm-hmm.
We should be, commuting through the sky, like with the train system. I like how Boston is creating a tram over in the. Yeah.
Well, I'll say to that, not necessarily traffic, but I do think the government limits the amount of things they fix. To like, you know what I mean? Like, if they fix certain things like too fast, it'll like break industries down. Like maybe like tobacco or something like it. Like certain industries or pharma, big pharma and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, if they fix things too fast, then certain people pay for it, and they don't want to mess with like the Illuminati money or some shit like oils and lands, and I don't know. That's what I think. I think government's definitely like, do we really need to fix this right now? Like, this is gonna backfire on us in terms of money.
Yeah, there's always money motivating it, but I think it's like Edmund said, not enough verticality. Like they could build air trams, like you said, like air railways or whatever. More verticality, not just roads, surface level, or they can do tunnels. Like I know, like back to Elon Musk, he's a big advocate of like underground tunnels. Like that's always a thing. Like
I don't like tunnels, so maybe another layer above us. But tunnels just seem like one day just gonna like go on it. Like
nah, I hear. I mean, I don't know, no engineer, no expert. But I hear tunnels are pretty safe for the most part. That's what to my limited knowledge.
Subways are underwater. If we can create transportation to be underwater, we can create civilization underwater to live in.
You see? So
like all the tunnels that you drive through at 93, going to the airport,
underwater.
All that is underwater.
Underwater, exactly.
So if we can create transportation to be sufficient underwater,
civilization. Exactly. Civilization can be on there. CGO, think about that.
I'm not getting my house underwater.
Alien.
I'll die
bro.
At that battle where it's like, are you underwater or you're a lander or something like
you a lander?
You'll discriminate.
Yeah, I'm like, nah.
You watered.
You stupid you stupid fish people.
Back in my day, we all lived above water. Like that's how I'll be, I think. So.
Side note, y'all hear how like back to One Piece, the fishermen people, like you hear how they're like prejudiced against they're quote unquote like the not to get like racist, but the black people of like the One Piece world because everyone's prejudiced and essentially racist towards them. Yeah, that's Gio. Yeah, that's Gio.
No question about it,
Gio's a marine. He's like, fuck them fucking fishmen.
Yeah.
You guys want to be with the fish so much?
Dirty fishmen.
Yeah, dirty fishmen drinking water all the time.
No, that is.
What's the 3D solution? Not a two. Like, how would we make it 3D instead of 2D?
Yeah, see, a 3. That's true, but it's hard because it's like I said, the infrastructure is built on a 2D, like a two-dimensional plan.
Yeah.
Like it's the infrastructure wasn't made for a 3D space. Even though we live in a three-dimensional world, like it's just I don't know. I'm
It's
I'm
just
not smart.
not-
I'm not smart enough to solve those kind of problems. I'll be honest with you.
You know what? We just create everyone. We live in the metaverse. You know, everyone has a sustainable tank or like a little the shit that makes people go into space, where like you could just like sleep in it, but your subconscious is living in a metaverse world, and then that's just where your life is. You know, you
I'll
live
be
it
down.
that way.
Like the Avatar.
Yeah.
I already
Or not
believe.
the Avatar, but Avatar.
I already believe we're in a simulation. So you want me to go into another level of the simulation? That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I believe it. Our simulation needs.
If you can still feel and have feelings and live a life, I wouldn't mind. You can restart your life
I
and
think
do
you
a different or like have a different.
I think you could. So, Warlord, to answer your question or your solution, I think we just need a DLC update for this simulation that we're in. Then we'll get the 3D solution that you're looking for.
Like the movie Ready Player One, where it's like they go live in the video game.
I gotta watch that.
It's like, y'all ever seen Sword Art Online? It's like that.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I always see comparisons, but I just want to watch it. It's like see how they're.
Not bad. Actually, like it was a good watch.
That's the one that planted the seed of that we live in a simulation. I'm like, shit. We're already here. We just don't know it.
But I want to be subconscious to it, where I don't know. I want to know that I'm in a simulation.
You see the level above you and stuff, and like your equipment.
Yeah, and if I die, like it's real life. I guess.
If I die, it's over. It's real life. Like,
Not
no-
like I got
no re-
eyes, but like
bro, it's alright, bro. You die, I'll go res you. I got you. I promise.
I'll do some dumb shit.
I'll go res you real
Like,
quick.
Jump off a building, or like go into the ocean, bro. That's the dumb shit I'll do. I'll go explore the ocean somehow.
Just tie
And
a
like drown myself. I guess.
tie a cinder block and just go as deep as you can.
Exactly.
All right,
Explore the
that's-
Bermuda Triangle, bro.
That's dark.
Yeah, we'll end it here. I think we should end it.
Yeah.
Here. We're going.
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 hours of chatting,
Yeah.
of frying our viewers' brains. with-
Yeah, I think this hat's been on a little too long, a little too tight. But no, yeah, that was fun. Well, we appreciate you guys tuning in for the keeping the chat active, interacting with us.
Thank you.
We'll definitely talk about it another time. Won't be the last time you see us wearing these tinfoil hats. Thank you. Great pod today. We appreciate the words, the feedback.
Appreciate it, KB.
But yeah, we'll be back again live next Friday as always. See, still May next month, so nothing to announce too much. We'll come back with a new topic, and yeah, I didn't plug it at the beginning, but as always, follow our social medias if you want. Instagrams are right there.
You cut out again.
Oh,
but
hopefully I'm
I
not cutting
already,
out.
I already
Yeah.
know what you. I already knew what you meant.
Sorry for the technical difficulties today. I'll try to be better next week. This is the first time I've had
The
this.
government was trying to strike us down. They did not want us speaking
Something's going on.
on these truths. Stay woke.
I'll make
Stay
sure
woke,
everything
guys.
is better for next week. But yeah, go follow us. TikTok page, cut_the_Mike. Twitch, Cut the Mic Podcast. Hershey Kiss Geo. We'll be-
Bro, there's a one that sunk down already.
I'm the small version of it.
Like you already licked it.
I'm like the mini. Geo's the giant version, the super size. I'm the mini version.
You look like an elf.
It's the antenna, bro. It's the antenna.
It's like
It's the antenna that keeps us
Yeah.
safe, you know?
You got the baby.
Keeps the brain, the microwaves out, whatever they call it. The whatever.
yo, the
Newscaper.
This is like a
Yeah.
baseball.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is it.
Nah, Evan got the old dad hat, bro.
I'm gonna use the fitted next time, bro.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
it's like that old school photo me and Albert took. That's what I was thinking of too. I don't know if you remember. It's like that's a deep cut. Only like
You gotta show us again.
yeah, I don't think I remember, but
it was like
Anyways.
a black and white photo. That's just like a.
we'll like I said, we'll revisit this. It won't be the last time you see these versions of ourselves. Next week we'll be back to more civilized conversation, I guess. Or
We even talk about
whatever.
things like NBA rigging, like the sports rigging.
Oh yeah, true. Sports conspiracy theory. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot to talk about here, so we'll definitely revisit this. We'll come back.
We'll
to
bring the
this.
hats back out
We'll
soon
bring the
enough.
hats back out. But yeah, we'll catch you next week. We'll end it here. So appreciate y'all. See y'all next week.
Peace.
Peace.
2 hours.